was the most defining moment of your life? It can be more than one. It can be personal or professional. And feel free to elaborate. I want to hear this one.
Well, let's go back to what changed in my life.
Okay.
And you're probably going to talk to a lot of wonderful, amazing business people, and then there's me
No,
with this
no,
personal
that's not
story.
It. We covered the gamut here. Seriously.
Well,
you wouldn't be here. I mean, the bio speaks for itself.
Well, thank you.
Sure.
99, my dad died.
Okay.
In 2001, 9/11. Then an ex-boyfriend of mine, Danny Pearl, who was a reporter with the Wall Street Journal, was kidnapped and murdered in Karachi, Pakistan.
I never knew that. Never knew
We
that.
dated when I was in Washington the first time.
Wow.
Danny was an incredible person. And the three events, because Dad at one point worked in the World Trade Center in the South Tower, and when I was a little girl, we used to go to Windows on the World. The three events just made me really sad, and I got really depressed, and I kept thinking, there's got to be more to life than this, and I was in St. Louis, and I hated St. Louis, and I didn't really like the people I was working with, and all I really wanted to do, I didn't realize I was really depressed, and all I wanted to do was travel and see my mother.
Okay.
And a girlfriend of mine said, you need a huge break. And people said, you can't take a break and leave your career. You will never get back into broadcasting at the same level. I mean, this is like death, because they forget about you if you're out of, you know, the sight lines. And I said, no, this is what I need to do. So I applied for the fellowship, the journalism fellowship. And it was hard. It was like being in college, because I had to interview with Berlin. I had to interview with Washington. I had to go through the whole application. And then they said, we need you to write 5 papers. And it was sort of like, discuss this Central European National Bank.
You don't strike me as one that likes to write essays.
I love to.
Do you?
I love to
Okay.
write. That's the whole column thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I love to write.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. You do that.
You know, but it was discuss the ramifications of the division and reunification of Germany with regard to the political, social, and economic impacts.
Wow.
I mean, this was like really hard stuff.
Deep stuff.
And my friends kept saying, do you really want to do this?
Right.
And I did, and I left. Thank God, really, thank God I won. My mother was completely supportive, and I left, and after the fellowship was over, I stayed in Europe, and I traveled for several months by myself, 1 suitcase.
Wow.
And I came back into the country, got a part-time job. I was in Charlotte, commuting to Raleigh, living with my mom again, in my, mid-30s, thinking, boy, am I a success. And
Nice.
and then I auditioned and got the gig here, which was the best job I've had to date. So that was a really defining moment for me, because I trusted myself, and the universe and God rewarded me for being brave.
How long was that internship again?
The internship itself was a couple of months, but then I stayed several more months, for about a total of almost 6 months. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's
Thanks.
great.